Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about the entire crypto market. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys, please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course I always do greatly appreciate it. So with that being said, let's just kind of move on and let's talk about the entire crypto market. More so, we're going to be really focused on Bitcoin right now, because I do believe that Bitcoin should be the main focus point currently. I'm going to be telling you guys about tomorrow and what to really kind of watch for, because tomorrow is going to be a major deciding factor on where this market really kind of leads to. Do I believe that we could see a little bit of a pullback? Yes, 100%. We're going to be addressing that and talking about that as well. But of course, we're going to be talking about the macro views here as well. So let's kind of focus on real quick Bitcoin. So obviously Bitcoin is hitting some resistance. I've told you guys about that 42K level. That is where a lot of resistance will be met. You guys do see on the 1 month where we are hitting that resistance point. It's at around like almost $42,000 exact, similar to this price back here, going to back to like March 9th. This is the level that we really want to break out of, but it's hard to, especially when we are just met with massive sell volume there. Right now, currently, altcoins are looking very good. Shout out to Rickus_trades here, but we do see, this is altcoins. This is the alt market. This is excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is the total, for alts. Now, when we are talking about this goes back to 2019 and 2020. Here you guys have these major topping points on the RSI. We've hit it multiple times, had this major crossing point section where we did see sort of a downward trend for the most part, but we have this nice impulse as well, where we do see a major change within the markets on an upward trend before, of course, having that small correction followed by a few tops, and then of course that repeated pattern similar to what we are in right now. This is comparing it back to 2019 and 2020, really kind of that whole macro view that led us to that 2021 increase in price along the board for a lot of altcoins. And honestly, when we are talking about what's happening right now, a lot of alts do have a ton of strength within them. We've seen a solid correction on a few of them. XRP, XLM, QNT, and even Hbar look very similar in this aspect. For an example, here you guys have XRP. Now, a few of these wicks down here, we could actually kind of move this down real quick, and I could show you guys where the major support has been in terms of a lot of these candle wicks. So we go back in time to support zones going as far back as like 2018. Here's a major support zone on the weekly of February 5th. Now this is the current support zone that we have wicked off of. You guys can kind of see the bottom point here as well. There is a ton of support on a lot of these altcoins around these areas going as far back as 2018. XLM really kind of shows you guys this exactly. So here you have the support zone before we ended up breaking out to the all-time highs back in 2018. You also see the support zone that we kind of bounced off of going back as far as the weekly on March 12th in 2018 before we had this nice impulse back up. And look at the support zone that this is currently. This goes as far back as multi-year support zones that we are ranging on. And a lot of altcoins are very similar in this aspect as well. Even, QNT, right? We ranged on the support zone going back as far as July 26th, the week of July 26, 2021, and also Hbar. Here we are ranging on this major support zone going as far back as, of course, April of 2021. So again, these levels that we're currently ranging on are major support zones that are massive demand zones that we are, really kind of seeing targeted, and we are looking for a major impulse off of them. Even, we're talking major support before all-time highs as well. But when we are talking about, strength throughout the alt market, I do believe that we will see a major alt season. But of course, first we want to watch Bitcoin. I think that a Bitcoin season is upon us. I think that we are seeing mass accumulation of Bitcoin as well, and a lot of charts are telling us that. Shout out to TechDev for this chart here. Observations on the new Bitcoin accumulation trend score closer to 0, darker equals larger entities distributing or not accumulating. Closer to 1, brighter equals larger entities accumulating. And you guys do see the trend score down here. The lighter is telling us, larger entities are accumulating. Darker is telling us that there's more of a distributing or not accumulating sort of fashion. Now, we do see up here, we've seen some accumulation happening, followed by, of course, sort of just sideways trading, distributing, not accumulating. But I do believe that when we are talking about the current structure that we are in this market, we are repeating that same exact sort of pattern before we've seen all-time highs being tested. You guys do see this going back as far as January 2019 to May of 2019 before we really seen that structure really kind of break out. Again, here's May of 2020 to September of 2020. Massive breakout events to the all-time highs on Bitcoin. We are repeating that same exact structure currently, and I do believe that this will be met with a little bit more sideways trading. I do believe that Bitcoin will have a little bit more sideways trading in it. I could actually kind of show you guys that real quick on the chart. I do think that tomorrow will be a huge day for us to really kind of focus on in terms of the indices and the dollar. On the weekly, we still look extremely bullish, but you guys do see where we are meeting major resistance. In fact, it's the same resistance point from last week's candle on March 7th, and you guys can really kind of see that 42K being a very strong point to really kind of break over. More so the 702. The 702 is that $42,000 level that we need to really break over and hold above. Now, currently, I will say this, I'm sort of with Credible Crypto on this, where we will most likely see a daily demand zone being targeted at around that 38 to 39K level. I've always said that we'll most likely see a correction back down to about like 39.6K, which is this level here, about 39.7K technically. It's just to test those lows going back as far as September. That is that major demand zone that, basically is being printed on the chart for us. It could go down as low as about like 38K technically, but that's that 38.2 level, which is a lot of support that we are basically grasping on. For the most part, I would love to see us have a strong impulse without a correction, but a little bit of a pullback is nothing too bad. It will range on a little bit longer though in terms of price action, and we will have to be a little bit more patient. But we do see Bitcoin is being accumulated. In my mind, I do believe that we will see a major breakout event happening soon. This will most likely lead us a little bit closer to the summertime patterns, but we will most likely see this breakout event happen eventually. In fact, we have been ranging on in this pattern for a very long time. I would say mass accumulation really kind of started around the January timeframe, or about 56 in total days currently. So, these events could happen. They could last for a while. Going off of the last bearish candle, going back as far as the summertime, this took 63 days in total for us to finally have that breakout pattern. So similar to this, will it be around this May, or not May, March 21st timeframe, the week of March 21st? Let's go back to the daily candle. You guys can really kind of see where this would put us. This will put us exactly on March 21st, or basically tomorrow, where we will see that breakout event. It's hard to say. I mean, honestly, if we are seeing a breakout event happening tomorrow, it will most likely be, along the boards of even the major indices. I told you guys to focus on these on Monday, because these are the true deciding factors on where a lot of these markets go. These were actually pretty bullish, actually, on Friday, and even in terms of the Dow Jones, I've told you guys about this macro view that I have for the Dow Jones going as far back as the March of 2020 crash, where we are seeing a lot of strength on the weekly candle off of major support at about the 786, and it looks like we are going to be targeting all-time highs soon. Same with even the NASDAQ. We are seeing a major breakout event along the board on the NASDAQ as well, above the 702. Looks like we are going to be targeting that 786 at about 14,000, almost 200. And even the S&P looks very, very bullish on the weekly as well, bouncing off of support below the 786 at around 4,197. So these looked extremely bullish, and even in terms of the major indices, the dollar looks very bearish. And I'm actually going off of this pattern going back as far as February 17th, 2020. This is the weekly, by the way. And when we were talking about this, if we go back to the daily, it looks like this could be very interesting to watch for, especially if we are going to repeat this pattern back here. So I could actually kind of show you how far along this board would, or this correction would bring us on the board. So 1 second, let me go back to the day that we really kind of topped out a little bit. So here we have it. I can kind of show you this real quick. Let's align these candles real quick. So obviously the daily is not playing out the most identical way possible, but that is just bars graphs in general. But this will bring us down to, of course, that bottoming structure of the 382 at about 94.5, which is exactly the level that I do want to see us target. This is also that major support zone going back as far as January 10th, or the week of January 10th. And if we are repeating that structure from March, we would look for that correction all the way down to almost this level with a strong impulse back up. Of course, a correction will be in store for us, but not before, of course, we touch down to that level, which will bring a major impulse throughout the market. This will also allow for Bitcoin to have that surge, similar to, of course, going back as far as, you know, we're talking about the summertime. This will bring us to some major high targets. It will almost bring us to my targeting point of about almost 54K to about 56K, and you know, along the boards with, you know, even altcoins, this will be very bullish for altcoins as well. But I am watching the major indices tomorrow as well as the dollar very closely. I think that the dollar right now is a focus point for everyone. And, you know, I would say I'm waiting for a collapse of the dollar. And when I say a collapse of the dollar, I want to see a massive bearish candle all the way down. Not maybe a candle, but just a bearish correction on the dollar back down to this like 95 level to hit that support zone. If we do break that support zone, yes, we will test even lower. But this is what I really kind of want to see, is this long, you know, downward trend that is like over a year, because this goes back to March of 2020, the COVID crash, all the way to about January of 2021. So this will be almost a whole year of a correction on the dollar that will lead a massive alt run similar to 2020 and 2021's major moves across the board with altcoins, where we did see a lot of alts really starting to break out. And this is also where I am watching XLM, QNT, Hbar, and even XRP. A lot of these altcoins do look very bullish on the weekly, as you guys do see. Of course, daily candles look a little bit different, but I'm watching Bitcoin because what I want to see from Bitcoin is, you know, possibly a breakout event happening this week at the end of this month, because that will be very bullish for us. You guys do see us targeting that support zone at about the 618 at around 40.9K. If we do break below that, like I said, watch for this level to be targeted at about 39.7K roughly. I don't think that that is too bad of a candle to really kind of, you know, place down at around that level. I don't think that's going to be too bearish along the board for altcoins, and I actually think that it's going to be very healthy for us to lead the path back above these high candle points, which would be at around like 42 to 43K, and a break above that level will be very, very bullish for us. And we do see, you know, an update to this idea, daily demand held, and if we are seeing option 1 play out, the triangle structure may now actually already be complete. If this is the case, it will become very clear in the next couple of days, starting with a break of 42.5K and 45K shortly after. And like I said, that is why I'm comparing the current structure right now that we are in to the summer time pattern as well, which, you know, this didn't take just 63 days. It was more along the lines of about 65 days for further confirmation, going as far back as like the major breaking point, which was this strong candle. But we can kind of go off of the day that this started to just trade sideways, which was 62 days technically. But I like to go off of the point where we did see the bottom officially be put in. Overall, you know, I do believe that by the end of this month, we should have confirmation on Bitcoin being bullish or bearish. I am more so settling with bullish. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.